Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and today we're doing another one of the patterns that I have come up with myself, where I've taken the idea of what I did the last time with the Celtic kind of design, and this time instead of having them spaced apart, I brought the colorful part of the bracelet together to give it a completely new and different look. Now it has some of the same feels of the previous one as far as like what it takes to kind of do it, any kind of decent knotting. Like basically, I want to be able to complete a row without having to like go back and like add a knot or whatever. So I have to like kind of unlock an area in order to be able to continue with the next color, if that makes sense. So like the yellow came in front of the green. I had to make sure there was enough space for the yellow to finish out, and then the green can come across. It goes over top of the blue. There was a lot of that, and just trying to keep it so that way those, whatever it is doing, whatever color it is there, can complete out its full row. And that was trickier than I thought it would be. I ended up having to watch the pattern very closely. Now this took me a little more than an hour, and part of that has to do with the fact that it is a little bit more focus driven, I guess. And then I came to a spot where things didn't look right, and then I realized that I had made a mistake, had to stop what I was doing, go back, fix the pattern, and then come back to making the bracelet, only to like maybe 10 minutes later find yet another mistake that I made in the pattern. So because it's Celtic, like that means that any one of the colors, it'll have a sort of woven effect to it where it's over and under and over and under. And there's some kind of, there is a correct way of doing that, and there's obviously the potential for a wrong way. And there were a couple instances in my process of trying to make this that I had gotten it wrong and had to fix it. But while I was making it, I could see like, oh, but we've been doing it this way. Why is this different? And then realize, okay, it's not supposed to be different. I know what I need to do. I need to go back and into my pattern and fix that. So the version that you get from the web page will be all corrected, all fixed, everything's done. These are all my videos are recorded way in advance, so that I have this opportunity that in case that, something like this happens where something goes wrong, I can make the correction before you guys even see it. And that's also part of why I make the bracelets after making all the patterns. It's not just the experience and whatever else that I can share with you. It also helps me to just double check my work and make sure that it is in fact the way it's supposed to be. So that feels pretty good. I like this pattern. It is very interesting. It brought up an interesting memory of mine back in my junior high school. I was pretty obsessed with the whole Celtic thing, and I had been taking a drafting class, so I learned isometric drawing, which is where you can create 3D boxes and stuff using angles and stuff like that. And this reminded me that I had spent so much time making this really big piece of art. I was working on it in all my classes. I was failing everything else but art, in history, in English, and all my other classes. I worked on this project, and I was so proud of it. It turned out looking so cool, and my art teacher was so amazed with it. He suggested I enter it into an art contest, and I felt so awesome. Like, that sounds really cool. I love it. And so I entered it into an art contest, and I didn't get first place, but I've got like second or third. But it didn't matter because the top place winners all had their artworks sent to, I think it was like state. Wow, we have some big lightning going on around here. That was thunder. It was sent to our state's congressman to hang up in their office, and that meant that was the last I would ever see of my project. And I was so disappointed. Like, winning was actually a lot more like losing. And yeah, working on this Celtic-y design really reminded me of that instance. I hadn't thought about that in years. And I can't just remake that artwork. I don't remember exactly what the inspiration was and how I went about it or anything. But yeah, it brought back some memories. So that was pretty cool. There's a huge thunderstorm going outside. I am so scared that the power is going to go out and this video is going to stop, and I'm going to be really bummed. But so far so good. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood. But yeah, craziness outside. That was the halfway point, by the way, where the single dot was. So before I forget, let me just thank my YouTube members for making this possible. I've been enjoying this whole little series of just creating what comes to mind, and I'm kind of looking forward to doing that again tomorrow. I kind of have an idea, and all these ideas seem to be spawning one after the other, and it's kind of fun. And like I said, these videos are all way in advance, so if you want to see them when they're coming out, that's easy. You just become a member. You can see the videos in advance. You can hang out with me on the first Sunday of each month. There's other perks. I don't remember them all, but yeah, there's other stuff in there. Oh, there's the smiley faces when you're in the chat, which is really fun. Oh, and the member live streams. Like, it's not just me making bracelets. It's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes on around here. So yeah, you can join for all those reasons, or just to help support the channel. That would be cool too. Yeah, it's probably somewhere in here where I had to stop and fix it. You don't really get to see that. I didn't like record going back to the pattern or anything, but yeah. Oh, the color strings definitely got used a lot more. However, they're still long enough to make like the normal size tassel. So I used the 1/3 of a skein again, and all the colors were like leftover strings from other projects, with the exception of the gray. I needed a few skeins of the gray to make it, which actually they were technically left over from some other project that apparently I didn't do. I think it was meant to go towards some keychains I was making, but then yeah, I ended up making this instead. Kind of neat. Trying to think of all the things I wanted to tell you about this thunderstorm. It's got me kind of frazzled. I'm kind of worried that we'll lose power again. But so far, so good. We've only got like another minute and some to go. Oh yeah, not beginner friendly. This is definitely a little bit more advanced. Not super hard, but I would not recommend this to anybody who's just starting off in bracelet making. So. I don't know why I'm so comfortable letting the bracelet kind of go off to one side. It's still straight, but I kind of tended to let it kind of come off to the right. I haven't really thought about that before. Interesting. But yeah, here comes the end. This is getting really close. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for listening to all my crazy babbling. I do appreciate that. If you have questions, leave them down below. I do try to get back to everybody. Got ideas or things for a pattern or whatever, you can probably get a hold of me over on Discord. And yeah, as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.